What's up, family? Welcome back to another legendary reaction video. As usual, I like to give my commentary, let alone my thoughts, extract a valuable message from the information I take face value, give my perspective. You guys comment down below yours. We see how I apply it to our lives to continue to grow and move forward. And that's that. So with no further ado, let's go.
Fani Willis and the weaponization of the government, the politicization of the government is in trouble. Jim Jordan is passing stuff. This is going to affect Fani Willis. We got our buddy Harrison Floyd, who's now got something in the appeals court against Fani Willis.
Well, regardless, what's right is right, wrong is wrong. Fani Willis, she already made sure she utilized taxpaying citizens' money, along with the power that she had much responsibility with her affairs. So at the end of the day, when you do wrong and you utilize government funds like it's your own, eventually what comes up goes down.
Is in a sling, or I should say her butt's in the meat grinder. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are.
Oral arguments are set to begin October 4th in the Court of Appeals.
Let's read these documents together on Fani Willis. Look, now here's the Twitter of the House Judiciary GOP. Breaking: Jim Jordan submits
Jim Jordan submits legislative proposal to defund lawfare by Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, and Letitia James. Also, no money for new FBI headquarters.
Proposals to defund lawfare by Jack Smith, Fani Willis, Alvin Bragg, and Letitia James. Now, this is one way that Jim Jordan can stop these things: is they control the purse, they control the budget, so they can just drain the money out. They can literally zero out Jack Smith's salary. Also, no money for new FBI headquarters. That's the bonus of this episode, because they're also weaponized, politicized, and working for one party. So now let's not build your $200 million headquarters. I think it's in Maryland. Dang. Read the full appropriations package here.
And they put the FBI headquarters in Maryland.
We're going to get to some of this. Here's funding for the FBI headquarters. Prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available in this act may be used to build the new FBI headquarters in Greenbelt. Recession on use of funds. The $200 million made available to the General Services Administration for the Federal Bureau of Investigation headquarters consolidation pursuant blah blah is hereby.
I want to know how this is going to take in turn affect Fani Willis by Jim Jordan draining the money. That's what I want to know. I get this part where the funds can't be utilized for the new headquarters.
Rescinded. Now, this all still has to be approved, but this is how you submit your budgets to. We'll see the letter at the end. It's to Tom Cole is who got these.
Judges will decide if Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis should be disqualified. The appeal stems from a
It sets in October. Dang, man, that's going into fall. This thing done went through the whole spring. This whole trial with, her former employee. I forgot his name. But the lawyer, you know how I'm talking about. They went through that whole thing with him. And then she was very adamant in saying that she's not on trial. She's there just giving her testament, when she was very defensive back then. But now she goes on trial in October. I feel like that's too far away. Comment down below how you guys feel.
Ruling that allowed Willis to remain on the case if Nathan Wade resigned.
There we go, Nathan Wade. There go her former employee / love affair.
Now, this involves Fani Willis right here. Countering lawfare, prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act, so this is an act they're proposing, or any other act, shall be used or transferred to another federal agency, board, or commission to be used to consult, advise, or direct state prosecutors and state attorneys general in the civil action or criminal prosecution of a former or current president or vice president brought against them in state court. That will zero out all your dough. They're talking about
Hey man, comes down to the money, right? So now, I guess from the first mistake, learning from the last mistake about how she was utilizing the funds in a way which it was like her own. Now they just gave her a reality check by zeroing out the funds with the Prohibition Act. Well, this is a proposal about how she can't use the money. They're gonna drain the money, and they say none of the funds made available by this act or any other act shall be used transferred to another federal agency. So, self-explanatory.
How they go after Trump.
You gonna tell me how to pay my bills?
Here's the next paragraph. Prohibition of use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act or any other act shall be used or transferred to another federal agency, board, or commission to be used to appoint or fund the office of a special counsel. That's Jack Smith, who has not been confirmed by the United States Senate because he was not confirmed by the Senate. This is so funny. It's so specific. To bring criminal.
It has to be specific, because if you don't specify, then people look for loops and crannies within that, and then they still try to do whatever opposes against the act that's being proposed in the first place, right?
Prosecution or a former or current president or vice president. They're gonna get him, guys. Nailed. Withholding or limited use of grant funds. Now, this is stuff where they know about Miss Timpson's grant that got scammed, over by Fani Willis. Prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act or any other.
They might as well just put prohibition in big letters like they do, but on the whole act and just say prohibition of use of any funds at this point.
Shall be used or transferred to another federal agency, board, or commission to be used to fund awarded grants to a grant organization that is under investigation for any misuse of federal funds. So she's under investigation. Prohibition on use of funds. None of the funds made available by this act or any other act for any grant program carried out.
And I'll pause it for a minute because he basically says she's under investigation. Comment down below, do you think she should have resigned in the first place? Or she should have just weighed the thing out and stuck with her office like she doing? Because I think she should have just resigned. But I'm curious to know you guys' input. Comment down below.
Department of Justice may be used to fund a criminal prosecution against a former or current president or vice president. This prohibition on the use of funds shall also apply to the use of funds to consult, advise, or direct state prosecutors and attorney generals engaged in a civil action or a criminal prosecution of a former or current president or vice president.
Right now, it is still unclear when a ruling would be handed down following the hearing.
Now we're going to get to Harrison Floyd. Now we've had Harrison Floyd.
They got a lot of president or vice president within the specifics within that act. Well, I tell you.
On the show, we've been praying for him, rooting for him, and he is up to bat at the appeals court with Fani Willis. Harrison Floyd, we are on the appeals court docket. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to the defense fund, and some of you guys have contributed to Harrison Floyd. Thank you. Or prayed for us. We've all prayed for him, I hope. Prayers are free. Without you, we wouldn't be able to keep fighting. Together, we will hold Fulton County accountable. Now, here is his legal document. I don't need to read a lot of it, but I'm just going to get you through the big stuff. Here it is at the top. Court of Appeals of Georgia. And this has notice of docketing a direct appeal.
This was on June 3rd. Yeah.
There's an appeal case number. There's a date of the docketing. That's June 3rd. Style, Harrison Floyd versus the state. Oh, I like the sound of that. How about you guys? Don't forget to subscribe if you...
That sounds like a very intense style. Somebody versus the state.
The sound of Harrison Floyd versus the corrupt state. Period. Important rule, requirements, and information. Briefs. Appellant's brief shall be filed within 20 days of the date of this docketing notice. Appellant's brief shall be filed within 40 days after the docketing date or 20 days after the filing of the appellant's brief, whichever is later. Requests for extensions of time to file briefs must be made by motion. Failure to timely file briefs or to follow any court rules or orders may cause the appeal to be dismissed or may cause non-consideration of a brief and may subject the offender to contempt of court. There's fees, there's the related cases, there's what the attorneys have to do down below, what non-attorneys must do, and the oral argument. A request for an oral argument must be filled within 20 days on this docketing notice. There you go. This is officially submitted. Of course, if there's any movement on this, I'll let you guys know about what Harrison Floyd is, but this is 2 fronts of trouble against Fani Willis. This is like an update on how, and her case, by the way, they're not going to get Trump in time, guys. She's not going to get to it. He's too busy. And they're still going for appeals, and she's still being
Yeah, because Trump attorneys did appeal. So they got to process that on top of deal with that. And then she think it's just not going to happen.
To boards under the Republicans within Georgia.
Run that back.
Doug in exile.
Hold up, run that back. What do you say?
Guys, she's not going to get to it. He's too busy. And they're still going for appeals, and she's still being submitted to boards under the Republicans within Georgia. I'm Doug in exile.
Submitted to board under Republicans in Georgia. She got a lot going on, man. I think she needs to, she does need to get a lawyer. And at the end of the day, I feel like they're already zeroing in on her. I mean, it's self-explanatory. She don't got no funds. They let her know who controls the bag. And then on top of it, they're basically let it known they're going to basically hold accountable the individuals who use taxpayers or tax-paying citizens' money like it was their own. Comment down below how you feel about the whole situation. Get a video a big thumbs up. On that note, family, peace.